people, welcome to Bouquet Jazz Dance. This is, acts of achievement, my dance journey, acts of achievement. This is me on the right hand side working with a teacher called Thomas Alajije. I studied under him for 7 years, from 84 to 1891 till he died at my hands in 103. As his pupil, I was his arts manager, administrator as an individual. Me and him had plans together to create our own school. To address some of the things that happened in his life, Tommy had contributed to African diaspora music in Britain spreading as individuals. And his name wasn't known, but Snowboy's name is known. And people like this. Giles Peterson said he's an individual. Does Havana culture supporting case study, Cuban creativity, supporting Cuban creativity, performing arts and everything, but doesn't support his own cultural performing arts in his own city of Manchester, London, etc. Because Tommy played everywhere. Tommy played in the first Afro-Cubans album made between 1950 and 1953. Another gentleman called Kwasi Asari, he was part of that movement. Many Africans were here spreading the music to their country and other parts of the world. Tommy was a musician and he played all over the world. And what happens is, this is a program done by Giles Peterson, saying he wanted to spread Cuban music, culture and literature, etc. And he said it's supposed to be a responsible person who wants to spread music as a DJ to other people. Well, he has a bias, doesn't he? The bias, how come he didn't spread the first Afro-Cubans here in Britain? A book came out in 2010. Guess what it was? A book talked about modern jazz in Manchester, 1946 to 72. People were shocked to see the photographs. Everybody around the world were here in Britain. Manchester had the #1 modern jazz scene ever seen outside America. What happened? How did that happen? That happened because they had the second biggest American air base outside the United States during the war, 42 to 43, and then the African Americans came back to here. But who were here spreading the music and traveling was two cultures, African and West Indians, not acknowledged for spreading Cuban music. So I'll give you an example. Who spread Calypso? Was it the Trinidadians who created that music, or was it Jamaicans? It was Jamaicans who Harry Belafonte made Calypso popular to listen to in America. That's right. And what happened, Africans here were the ones that spread the music before the DJs. They were spreading the music, and we were spreading the music ourselves as a culture before the DJs, because it wasn't cool to be DJs. DJs were geeks, and that's what you have to understand. And what happened was, people, they had a voice, so they got able to have a voice from radio. They had a voice from magazines that they created. But underground, the dancers were traveling the world. Tommy traveled the world like I traveled different parts, and I worked with a lot of different cultural groups from around the world as an individual. So what happened, I wanted to share with the individual. I created a project, and that project is sharing. I worked with many students that came to Britain through a project called Student Empowering Students. I was I was a YTS engineering student, and I was asked to create a project using dance, music, theatre, technology to spread with individuals. Our dance culture was here. And what dance culture was that? It was UK jazz dance. UK jazz dance involved me in African music, involved me in Brazilian music, Caribbean music, European music, European art, European theatre as intro. Studying Cuban music through them teachers. Who gave us that knowledge were people like this, Thomas, showing them the art that I was involved in as an individual. So what happens is, beautiful 2020 vision is bringing rethinking, talking about who spread music throughout Britain, because Giles Peterson and a few of those in the commercial world, they got the accolades for spreading music, but they never did it first. Tommy was part of the original musicians that came here. He came in from 1939, and from he was in 1939, he spread music, went away as a merchant seaman, learned entertainment. He was part of cabaret. He was part of different cultural festivals that were happening, part of the underground, be it in Liverpool, Scotland, had toured with Kenny Graham's Afro-Cubists in Europe. Africans were all over the place and they've been acknowledged. And I, as a student, has just come back as an amazing story, kept this photograph as individuals, and to recognise how come Snowboy is known, Giles Peterson's known, but Thomas Olajide is not known. He was on the first Afro Cubans album, and the people that played with Tommy are not known. Blue K Jazz Dance out.